Race 1 at the Sachsenring, round 11 of DTM 2024, and Jack Aitken on pole position alongside Mirko Bortolotti, with Thomas Preining quickest in qualifying, but starting 6th after a 5-place grid penalty. Aitken got the lead into turn 1, with Bortolotti second, but it was side by side for third between the Mercedes of Luca Stolz and Arjun Maini, and then getting involved as well was Maro Engel, currently running third in the championship. A great start for Maro as he dived down the inside into turn 3 and moved himself up to 4th place. Also making a good start to the race was Kelvin van der Linde, the championship leader, from 10th on the grid up to 6th, but there was damage for Marco Wittmann on his BMW after contact with the Lamborghini of Luca Engstler and Clement Schmidt in the McLaren. Sheldon van der Linde was trying to come through, but there was a rear bumper problem for Luca Engstler after that contact. That tight squeeze through the opening encounters ending up sending him into the pits and into retirement. So Aitken led from Bortolotti, Stolz in third, and then Engel fourth ahead of Maini in 5th place. Aitken getting away in the Emil Frey Racing Ferrari. Then Maro Engel started to wind up the pressure on Luca Stolz and pulled off this move around the outside into turn 1. It would give the inside line into the left-hander at turn 2. Engel now from 5th on the grid up to 3rd place. Into the pit stop phase, and Jack Aitken came in with a healthy lead, but there was a slightly sticky pit stop for the team, losing him a couple of seconds. However, he was still able to emerge thanks to good in-laps ahead of Mirko Bortolotti, with Engel also having a slightly slow pit stop but remaining in 3rd place ahead of Luca Stolz. And the last drivers to pit would be René Rast, who had to come from last on the grid after a 5-place grid penalty. He would continue to lead but would pit late and then have to try and charge through to gain some more points. Arjun Maini, meanwhile, was having a good battle to try and get ahead of Ricardo Feller, who was also late to pit, and then Thomas Preining started to pounce and wind things up with a great battle with Kelvin van der Linde, battling over a net 6th place. Van der Linde, though, was not going to let the reigning champion past, made his Audi as wide as possible and stayed just ahead. Jordan Pepper also involved in the battle, standing in for Christian Engelhardt in the Grasser Racing Team Lamborghini. Then this fantastic move from Thomas Preining, diving down the inside at the last second, running alongside Kelvin van der Linde on the way into the turn, but still Kelvin would let him past. René Rast finally made his way into the pits with just 2 minutes of the pit window remaining. The Schubert Motorsport team changing the rears first, then putting brand new Pirellis on the fronts. What could the 3-time champion do? He would emerge behind his teammate Sheldon van der Linde with about a 5-second deficit to try and make up in the last phase of the race. But he would have fresher tyres and would quickly catch up to the pack. Would it be 3rd time lucky for Thomas Preining? He dummied it to the left, then sent it to the right, down the inside of Kelvin van der Linde, and finally made his way through. Van der Linde then having to defend from Jordan Pepper and his brother Sheldon van der Linde. The team cheering a great move from the reigning champion. Sheldon van der Linde then squeezing up the inside of the Lamborghini of Jordan Pepper. The two South Africans running together, but the BMW with the inside line through turn 3, gaining a place, carrying 20 kilograms of success ballast after his victory last time out at the Nürburgring. Aitken, though, would take the checkered flag and become the first driver to win 3 races in the 2024 season.
And the victory. Well done, Jack. Well done. What a win.
Bortolotti came home in 2nd place with Engel in 3rd. A great drive from René Rast up into 7th place from the back of the grid. So Jack Aitken, Mirko Bortolotti and Maro Engel on the podium, with Luca Stolz, Arjun Maini and Thomas Preining rounding out the top 6. That great drive from Rast up to 7th. Kelvin and Sheldon van der Linde in 8th and 9th. And on his debut, Jordan Pepper coming home in 10th place for the Grasser Racing Team in his Lamborghini. And with that 2nd place, Mirko Bortolotti would now move up into the championship lead ahead of the 2nd day of racing here at the Sachsenring, with round 12 of the championship coming up next.